As mayor calls me to order, pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, would you call the roll, please?
Martyr.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Schneider.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Zukas are absent. Zukas W.
Can I get a motion to excuse the absence?
I make that motion. Support.
Parker.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Zukas are absent. Zukas W.
Yes.
Martyr.
Yes.
City administration, Don?
I have nothing.
Was there any agenda?
Sorry. Yes, we do have some non-agenda items for the sidelines. Tammy, you have the floor. Stand up and speak up, please.
That's all right. I just had a question. Tammy Ware, I'm owner of the Doghouse. I'm also the vice president of the Chamber of Commerce. I had a question regarding the parking on Main Street. There's signs on Main Street that say 2-hour parking. I always assumed it was 2-hour parking. It's not really a problem right now, but I envision that when we do open that it's going to be a problem. I've seen a lot of, business, people who work at the businesses parking on Main Street all day. And I think I would like to see for businesses that it is a 2-hour parking so people can come in and go to the different businesses and stop in. A lot of times I've driven through, there's no parking on Main Street at all during business hours. So I just want a clarification on that.
We only had one person that we let park out there, and that was the guy that is in the old Tony's Market, remember? Because he was handicapped.
Well, there are 2 handicap spots,
Right.
and I don't have a problem with that if, that doesn't have to.
Well, if this wasn't handicapped, he just wanted a spot where you wouldn't have to walk around the back of the building.
Right.
I think that's the only one we have ever made an exception to the parking.
Yeah, if they're a business owner and they're parking in front, I think they should be utilizing the lot in the back. I think, with the pharmacy, they ate up a lot of the parking out on the road.
Is it other business owners that are doing that? Or?
It's just, there has been one car that's been parked in front of the Doghouse for, the one time I was there for 3 days. That's when I first noticed it. I'm like, who is this? And then we noticed it was somebody who works at one of the businesses up across the street, so.
Okay.
And of course, everybody, I'm sorry, Radonna Souls, or Radonna Harper, Donor Girls, Secretary, Chamber of Commerce. Of course, everybody knows Smitty parks his car on Main Street in front of his business, and that's hurting himself. But he's in front of his own business. If you check Google Earth picture that Mr. Schneider showed us just about a week ago, you will see a little white Saturn that sits right at the edge of my building, and my building has 1 parking spot. The rest of it is no parking because it's right on the corner. So there's this little white Saturn that comes and sits there all day long. It showed up at 10 o'clock this morning and it was still there when I left at 2. And it belongs to a person that works for him inside the new Essential Health. It is an elderly lady, so I don't want to say anything.
But you want us to say something.
I do, I want the police to do their job, or I want whoever put up the signs that says no parking, 2-hour parking, I want those people to be responsible. Because it causes bad
Right.
blood between, you can say it as nicely as you want,
Sure.
it doesn't matter. It causes hard feelings.
Well, I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate it if you parked your truck right in front of his door for all day either.
Right.
so.
Probably not,
Right.
probably not.
I just think it needs to be established, and whatever it is, the correct way, it needs to just be enforced.
But Smitty parks his business car in front of his place. Why doesn't he park in the back?
I don't know,
Just move back here, tell him.
but it's his business.
No.
If he wants to
And
take
whether
up
it's
one of his
business or
own
not, he's not
spots.
handicapped.
But we don't.
Yeah, but it's
It's
still a
2-hour
2-hour
It really, it really doesn't matter who it is, as
Right,
far as the
exactly.
fact that it says 2-hour parking, and obviously it's not being followed. Council, I'd say your 2 choices are either send it to the police committee, or we tell them to start calling the police if a car's been parked there for more than 2 hours.
Or we thought you'd go to top of Smitty.
Well, it's
It's more than just.
It's more than
Oh, it's more than
Yeah.
Smitty. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
It needs to be brought to our police
Yeah.
department's
I,
attention to enforce what it is.
yeah.
I mean, there's not that much going on in this town that they can enforce that little bit of the law. It's not like we have gang wars going on the back streets. We'll just
Can I get a motion to send it to the police committee?
make a motion.
I'll support it.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar absent, Lucas W.
Yes.
Martyr,
Did you fill out?
Parker.
It's over there.
No, he signed in.
Todd, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I got a problem. I got a brush pile I'd like to burn. And its branches just fall off my leaves. They're off the trees. I've lost 2 or 3 trees on that road behind me. So I got a lot of branches there. And I'd like to get the okay to burn that. And I know you got open burning in April. I got the store open in April. I'm working up there, and if the weather isn't just right, I can't burn. Because I won't burn unless the ground is wet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna take me likely a week. You know, you can't just leave it and let it burn. You gotta- and that's my problem, and if the city wants to pick it up, it's got 2 men all day.
Well, you'd have to bag it if you want the city to
I
pick it
can't,
up.
how can you bag branches that are?
They have to be cut up into 4-foot
Yeah,
lengths and
but they're-
bundled. I'm just saying, if you want the city to pick it
Yeah,
up, then
I
that's
know,
the thing.
That's what they told me,
We don't have issue burn permit.
Not in the city, no.
Not in the
Now, let me ask you a question. So now, in the past, I've always thought that open burning is basically raking your leaves out into the street, lighting it on fire. Now, if he wants to burn at his property, as long as he's there, is that okay or no?
No, that's considered open burning.
It is.
it's what?
That would be open burning that falls within the fall and spring time limits that you
Okay.
have.
But how about if you had a bonfire pit? 'Cause, you know, most of the houses in town have one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're burning if you're keeping it small and contained,
A cook fire.
right. But if you have a large amount, that's,
Well, I'm not gonna set it all on, you know, I'm gonna burn a little bit of it at a time, but if I've got a bonfire, roast hot dogs on, I'll be out there next winter,
that's the problem.
you know?
I mean, the city ordinance is pretty clear. I don't think we can possibly change it right now. Can you wait till spring, you think, and put it off?
Well, in all honesty, the safest time of the year would be right now to burn it.
True. You got snow coming, no.
Yeah.
I can't tell you to break the city ordinance. You understand that, right?
Well, I just thought I could get a permit, if I got a permit, I realize it's open burning, but I would, you know, for everybody to burn their leaves in that.
Would it make any difference being he has a business?
I don't think so.
It's
Probably
out, it's out of the fire department's hands because it's a city ordinance.
Right.
It's- We have to enforce city ordinances, so.
How much is their hot?
I burned it anyway.
And 10
Well,
pickup loads, a dump truck, 2 trailers.
if you're gonna, I would say I got, take a couple guys all day likely, time to load it. I got a lot of trees on my property, and I've lost 3 trees right along, actually, they're on city property.
It's sizable then.
They're,
You're talking at your house or your business?
a house,
That's what I thought, okay.
yeah. They're 15 feet long likely, and the biggest ones are likely 2 inches in diameter.
Are those city property, Todd?
See, you get hard to find them.
But no, the ones that, the trees you're talking about, are some of them city property? Trees, I mean, were they on city property? Some of them?
Yeah, one of the catalpas, a humongous one.
Yeah.
It went down, in fact, it knocked out the neighbor's lights, and it's hit the power lines.
Is Bart aware of it?
Huh?
Is Bart aware of it?
Oh, yeah, it blocked the road when it fell, and he come down there and cut it back. In fact, some of it's still down there yet,
Okay.
about 5-6 inches in diameter.
Why don't you let me talk to Bart and I'll call you. And we'll figure something out. Okay?
I don't mind burning it, you know,
Right,
In the wintertime, I got time, but I just don't have time in April,
all right.
because the weather's gotta be right too.
So the general portion of it isn't, it's too small, basically considered for firewood, right?
My intention is always to burn a stove in my garage, but I never get time to go out there in the garage and work, so I can't burn it.
Let's get with Bart and we'll see what he's got to say about it, and we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Okay.
Good enough? All right, thank you. Doug, you said you're all set?
Yeah.
Doug?
I see we're on the agenda down in new business. The only other thing I'd add is we're starting out as a real busy year. We're already at 33 runs for the month, which 33 is normally a busy entire month for us, so we're only halfway through and we're there. So we'll see where we go. Otherwise, everything's going fine.
He's not here, Bart's not here. Is there anything we need to add to the agenda? If not, I'll take a motion to accept it.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Stoops?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Lukasar absent, Lucas W. Martyr?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes. Hopefully you've all had a chance to look over the meeting minutes from January 5th. Is there any corrections? If not, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from January 5th, 2016.
Support.
Wilson?
Yes.
Lukasar absent, Lucas W.
Yes.
Martyr?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Stoops?
Okay, luckily, we have Sherry Faust with us tonight, who happens to work for St. Clair County Health Department, and she is in charge of the Bell River watershed. You're in charge of it, right? That's your baby?
Well, it's all of ours. But yeah, I work for St. Clair County Health Department. Good evening, my name is Sherry Faust, and I think the opportunity to present just a few slides tonight. The Health Department is responsible for watershed planning and stormwater management in St. Clair County, and so that's what I do in my job, and we put together a watershed management plan for the Bell River. And it's really a document. It's about a 500-page document that we produced, a very thick document, but ultimately this is a tool that we use to guide our planning to restore and protect the Bell River. So what am I talking about when I talk about the Bell River? I'm talking about this entire area of land here within the purple boundaries. Memphis is smack in the middle of the watershed. You can see Memphis there on the map. The Bell River is a very long river. It's 73 miles long. It stretches all the way west into Lapeer County, west of Imlay City. And the mouth of it stretches east of here, all the way down into Marine City, into the St. Clair River. So it's a very long river, a very long watershed, and we were developing a watershed management plan. It was easier for us to break the watershed into 3 manageable areas because the watershed is very different, the land use is very different, and the water quality problems are very different across this entire area of land. So we broke it into 3 sections. First one being what we call the headwaters in Lapeer County and western St. Clair County. In this area, the river is in very poor shape, very poor condition, has low oxygen levels, which the state, which we are exceeding the state levels for oxygen. We have to restore oxygen in order to have a healthy population of wildlife and aquatic organisms in the river. It's very high phosphorus. So we targeted this area of the river as needing restoration. Then the middle section, which Memphis is in, is a very high quality part of the river. It's actually a very beautiful stretch of the river, especially here in Memphis. I know you guys with your part, it's just beautiful, but it's just a really unique section of the river, and people that came here to do surveys with us and work on the river were just amazed at how beautiful it looks like here in northern Michigan when you're in stretches of the river through this middle section. Riley Township, Columbus Township, and Richmond Township. There's endangered fish and mussels living here, so that's a good sign that the river is doing well. So we said this part of the river needs protection, and that's really key for Memphis to know that. And then the downriver, which is Marine City, East China, China Township, needs restoration. It has a lot of water quality, poor water quality effects that we see with urban land use. And just to show you an example of what each of these areas look like, here's what the headwaters typically looks like. It's mostly county drains. Here we have a section in the middle section, which has canoe and kayakers on it, and then a very urban landscape downriver. And when we were doing the planning and meeting with people that were in the very mouth of the river compared to the very upstream headwaters there, people in my city can't believe that you can boat in the Bell River because they have just tiny little creeks and wetlands. And then people down in Marine City can't believe that the Bell River just starts as this tiny little streams and creeks. So it was interesting and educational to make everybody aware of that. So what was this plan that we did? It was a 3-year plan. And we would have been here 3 years ago. So some of you might be thinking, why have I not heard about this? Well, there's a lot of turnover and a lot of people come and go in 3 years, but we were able to maintain momentum. In fact, we held many meetings here. So I thank you guys for opening up your hall and worked with Bill. He was on our Bell River Watershed Planning Committee. The health department received a $250,000 grant from the DEQ. These are non-point source programs. So that's really what we had to target with this Bell River Watershed Plan is look at all the non-point sources of pollution, the sediment, the phosphorus, things like that going into the river. We were the fiduciary of the grant, and then we worked with a consultant, Held Roth and Clark, for it. So the things that we accomplished over these 3 years, we had ideas about the condition, the current state of the Bell River, but you have to do investigating, you have to do surveys to prove that and to show really what's out there if you want to receive funding. Because now that we have this approved watershed management plan, we got approved at the state level by the DEQ, that went up to the federal level, to the EPA, which means that we can now receive funding from the state and federal level, which we couldn't do. You can't get money for a river until you have an approved watershed management plan. So I'm working a lot with Eric and trying to find opportunities to bring money to Memphis because I know you guys are shovel ready for some things, so I want to help with that. Anyways, we surveyed and prioritized sources of water quality, we assessed the historical changes, and we also looked to see what's coming up for the Bell River. So where was the Bell River? Where is it now? And where is it going? So what we know, it has too much phosphorus, therefore too little oxygen. Those things are tied together for 21 miles in the headwaters. It has excessive log jams. I'm sure you all know that. And that definitely impedes recreational use, and as well as impacts flooding and things like that. It's lost 79% of its wetlands. This is also part of why we have log jam problems, because we don't have retention of that water anymore. You have extreme flashiness and high flows of water through the river, where wetlands used to absorb all that. That creates erosion on the stream banks and more trees falling in. So really, log jams are kind of a symptom of a loss of wetlands. It does contain threatened and endangered fish and mussel species. And we also learned that the Bell River has really vast community support and appreciation, and this is really important because I do this in other rivers throughout the county, and we didn't see as much support and appreciation for a river like we do here in the Bell River watershed, so that was really encouraging for us. Here's an example of some erosion, severe erosion going on in a bank. You get that sedimentation in the river and affects the quality of the river. That's actually what can lead to too little oxygen. Example of a log jam, many like this. We surveyed all of them, and we inventoried all of them. We prioritized and ranked them too. But of course that changes seasonally. And preserving and maintaining wetlands. So this is an example of a wetland that exists in the headwaters, and we want to protect these. So we did do mussel surveys, and mussels are useful water quality indicators because they're sensitive to changes in the water. So if we can find mussels, they're an indicator of how well the river is doing. And we had professors come from all over the state that came here to Riley Township and Columbus Township and China Township to survey mussels with us, because there are mussels here that you can't find anywhere else in the state. So that's pretty unique, and that's a pretty great thing. So here we are. This is actually in Riley Township. Some different mussel species that we found. We assessed 7 different sites. We tracked the number of species that we found and then the total number that we found. And Riley Township ranked the highest throughout the entire watershed. So that's pretty unique. That's pretty special to to know that. And so these are where we would only collect live species and then we return them all to the river. Oh, there, right, okay, so 319 mussels found, 9 different species. We found 11 threatened silver shells and 9 rainbows. And I didn't know anything about mussels, I didn't care about mussels, I couldn't get excited about mussels, but when you're around people that know a lot about them and they're excited about them, you get excited about mussels, so now I love mussels. Stream monitoring was something that we did here. These are all pictures from your park, and we would get teams of volunteers together every May and every September to dig for bugs in the river. Again, they are indicators of water quality, that the macroinvertebrates that bury themselves in the bottom of the stream. And depending on the types of bugs that we find and the quantity of bugs that we find, of course, part of the food chain for fish, we can also see how well the river is doing. And of all of our sites, we do all throughout the county. We have about 20 different sites throughout the county. This section of the river always ranks the highest with scores. So we're finding the highly sensitive species that are sensitive to pollution. That's what we want to find. So you're only going to find them in healthy waters. So this was a great activity for families to come out to and volunteers to come out to. We always had a good time doing this. And we did this 6 times here. We haven't done it recently. But if anybody ever wanted to do it, I still have all the equipment, supplies, and I'd be happy to take anybody out anytime. And the reason why it was May and September, that's the window of time that you need to find the bugs in the river. We're looking for the fish flies and the mayflies and damselflies and dragonflies. They start their life in the water before they become flying insects later in the summer. So that's just a sampling of some of the inventories that we conducted over the last 3 years to put into the plan. So what can Memphis do, and what did we learn about where Memphis is? We reviewed all the master plans of all the communities in St. Clair County, and we wanted to see the extent to which master plans include protection of the Bell River. So here's just a part of what is in Memphis master plan that talks about the Bell River. What we found is that almost no community mentions the Bell River in their master plan. And that's a problem. If it's not mentioned in the master plan as a priority for a community, it's not going to be protected when development comes along. So there's opportunities to improve what's in the master plan and to add it to a recreation plan. So I just wanted to show you what we found for Memphis. So the fact that you actually have the Bell River in yours, you're doing better than most other communities in St. Clair County. Just some things to think about. How can we protect it? Because you are in a stretch of the Bell River that needs protection. When you come around to updating your master plan, this would be the same for all communities in Lapeer County, Macomb County, St. Clair County that touch the Bell River. Amend existing plan to include the goals and strategies of the watershed plan, and I can help with that whenever that would come along. Develop and adopt ordinances that you may not have in place, and again, these are things that take time, but they're things to be thinking about that all lead towards protection of the Bell River, like riparian buffers, floodplain management, wetland protection, agricultural buffer zone, rural clustering, illegal dumping ordinance. Next one there, preserving rural character. Really, that's why people like to live in the Bell River watershed. Over 50% of the watershed is agricultural land. We want to protect that. That's a part of the culture of this watershed. So anyway, to preserve rural character is important. And then having public access to the river, I believe that you're working on plans to put some sort of public access into the Bell River in your park. And if you can get to that, when we surveyed residents, that was the second priority for residents is public access to the river. So that's what people are saying they want. And then continue to participate in the Bell River Watershed Group. Like I mentioned, we've worked with Bill, and we're going to keep the momentum going. Now we can get funding, and that's where this goes. We have the plan. We don't want to just sit on the shelf. We want to put some of our priority projects into action and get some things done. And it takes multiple jurisdictions working together to do that. So here's just something I pulled up a picture of your park there. And I've been putting in multiple applications when funding comes along to help the park with this, to help the city of Memphis with this, is to stabilize this stream bank here. Some things that can be done, creating no-mow zone, installing in vegetation. You're losing land is what's happening here, and there's a lot of erosion going on. Columbus County Park recently removed a lot of dead trees and log jams from the Bell River, and they anchored their stream banks with them. So that's an example that can be done, installing riprap. So anyways, I'm working to get funding to help you with this. Because what it's going to do is improve fish and wildlife habitat and protect the river. So that would be how we would sell this. This here is an example of poor water quality as a result of too much washing off the land and getting into the river. It doesn't look appealing. And what's important for you to know is that when we surveyed residents, which of these is the most important to you, scenic beauty rates the highest. So that's important. It's important to know. And creating messages that appeal to their residents. If there's going to be long-term support, we build on the scenic beauty that residents like. And you can see some of the other answers there too. So it really is a beautiful river. Just to show you too, some of the partners we've worked on, this plan could not have been completed without their efforts. Our primary partners had some sort of financial commitment involved with this. And again, all these partners came to the table for 3 years, and our secondary partners, which City of Memphis was a part of too. All of this is available online. Put the website up there, I had it on the beginning slide. It's sccwater.org, which stands for St. Clair County. So it's sccwater.org. And the current projects we're working on, Columbus County Park is doing habitat restoration in the Bell River there in Columbus County Park. We're working with Columbus Township on log jam removals in their park. And then, of course, helping Memphis too with their park, any sort of stream bank stabilization I can do or park enhancement. I'm happy to do that. So if you guys have ideas, and I've been in touch a lot with Eric to, see what we can do. So that concludes my presentation.
There's one thing I wanted to mention to you, that if you call the city office, they'll give you the email address for my wife, who's now doing the calendar for the city's website. So anything that you have going on, if you email it to her, she will make sure it gets on our city website.
Okay. Okay.
No, I'll just have her call you. I'll give her your number and have her call you. You and her can talk about how to get a hold of her and stuff.
Okay.
You know me, I'm not very good with email, so she is. She's good with it.
Okay.
Did anybody have any questions? Thanks for
All
coming
right,
out.
thank you.
I got one comment.
Yes, sir.
Questions or
I
comments?
ice skated on that sucker from Riley Center to Memphis.
What?
I had no intention of ice skating back. Boy, that is a long way.
Ice skating, huh? Ice skating? Ice skating, yeah. I lived on that river on the Trevor Rats, that's right up there spinning line.
That's awesome. I love stories like that.
Yes.
When's your next meeting?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even share that. It's gonna be for every other month. The second Thursday of the month, so March 10th
March 10th?
at 10. And it's at the health department.
Okay.
You want to go? Or? Okay.
I'll listen to it.
Okay, we have no communications, unfinished business, fire department invoice from R&R truck repair.
Need a background? We were having an ongoing problem with the engine where we get in, start it up, hit the gas to leave and get nothing. All it would do is idle. And for the longest time, we had some workarounds that, you shut everything off, start over again, and it usually came back to life. But finally, we were out on a run on Boardman Road, I went to move the truck and nothing. And no matter what we did, nothing. So we ended up towing the truck over to R&R. What they found wrong is there's a switch on the pump that transfers the throttle control from the cab of the truck to the pump panel. When you put the truck in pump, that had gone bad. So it was transferring the throttle to the pump panel all the time rather than the pedal. Fixed that and we've been good ever since. So.
Anybody have any questions?
Well, if something definitely had to be done, I know Justin talked to me a couple times, too.
20-year-old vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So,
The truck's been great otherwise. That's the only problem we've had.
So we got a bill for $2,211.72. Do we get a motion to pay that?
I'll make a motion that we pay the R&R truck repair invoice in
Sukusar, absent. Sukastabio.
Yes.
Martyr. Parker.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
CDBG public hearing date.
We want to do that on February the 16th. It has to be put in the paper, I think, 15 days ahead, is that correct? So when we look at the dates, I think it's next week.
We just need a motion?
Yeah, no, we need a
Need a motion to put an ad in the paper?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
would approve the.
Set the hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we have a public hearing on February the 16th, 2016 for the allocation of the CDBG funds.
Sukastabio.
Yes.
Martyr. Parker.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Sukusar, absent.
Okay, from the mayor. Women's Life, Chapter 855 is having a chili cook-off. Come and compete for bragging rights for the best chili in town. Bring your best chili in a crock pot or a roaster. No entrance fee. Please call 810-392-5136. Deadline to register is January 25th. Prizes will be awarded. Proceeds to benefit the Memphis Schools Backpack Program for at-risk children. At-risk children receive backpacks of nutritious foods to supplement their meals. And that is Saturday, January 30th, from 5 to 7. Admission's $5 or $10 for your family. Come out, bring the family, and have some fun. It's going to be at the Memphis Elementary School cafeteria on Boardman. And Women's Life Insurance Society will match the first $500 raised. So you can come out and have some chili, raise some money for the school's program, and also Women's Life Insurance Company will match the first $500. And if you have any questions about it, we'll probably have, we'll put this up on the board in the office here. I know I'm forgetting something, but I guess it's too late. Kurt?
Well, I just want to make mention that, winter's finally hit again here, and just a reminder to everybody out there that we get snow, get the sidewalks cleared off in somewhat of a timely manner. It's an ongoing problem here in the city with people that are the sidewalks, and I think we're going to start sending out notifications to people that aren't clearing their walks, that they just need to get that done, so. That's it.
Larry?
Nothing tonight.
Bill?
No.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.